Your Eminencies, Your Highnesses, you will forgive me because I have only 2 minutes and you all know my individual respect to each and every one of you. And my speech will be brief because I've already sent a lengthy congratulatory letter to the ACF. I congratulate the ACF and I commend the leadership of the ACF, and I'm happy that we have the Silver Jubilee, and I pray that by the time we are having the Golden Jubilee, Nigeria will be the greatest country in the world. Northern Nigeria is the great asset to the country. My family has almost a century experience having members of our family living in Northern Nigeria, and I myself, at the age of 53, I discovered that I spent 58% of my lifespan living in Northern Nigeria. So I'm a pure Dan Arewa. But the importance of the ACF is not only because it speaks for the North. The importance is that it speaks for one Nigeria. Because we started our journey, it was only in the North that the meaning of unity was understood, and the ruling party's motto was one North, one people. And by the time we got to the Second Republic, the party in power was one nation, one people. So we have moved from unity of the North to the unity of Nigeria. Now, at present, the challenge we have is every man unto himself, and God for us all. So we must go back to one nation, one people. We used to worry about our differences, and we went to Britain negotiating independence based on our differences. But now, we are challenged by our common problems. So our politics must change. And I assure you, the ACF, that Arewa Consultative Forum, SYMFONI, Indigbo, Middle Belt Forum, Naija Delta Forum, all of you should come together and become the Nigerian Consultative Forum. The importance of your work is not lost, and the result may not be showing now, but my presence here and that of many of my generation shows that the work which you started will be continued by us. I can assure you, we understand one Nigeria. We know what it means to keep it together, and we will serve the country with better politics that will ensure that Nigeria is developed and all the problems facing northern Nigeria and facing Nigeria become a thing of the past. Thank you very much, and God bless northern Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm privileged to stand before you to give this goodwill message by my humble self, and I titled it ACF Silver Jubilee of Service, Forging Prosperous North in a United Nigeria. It is with profound respect for the legacy of Northern leadership and a deep commitment to our region's future that I extend warm greetings on the momentous occasion of the Arewa Consultative Forum's 25 years anniversary. We celebrate 25 years of ACF steadfast service. This forum has established itself as an indispensable pillar for advancing the unity, peace, and progress of Northern Nigeria by upholding the values of integrity, dialogue, and inclusiveness. The ACF has honored the foundational principles of our esteemed past leaders and provided a crucial platform for addressing our region, of course, unique. As we reflect on this quarter century, we must also envision a bold future. True political neutrality cannot mean the absence of political direction. The North must develop a coherent, homegrown agenda, focus on compromise on security, good governance, educational advancement, and economic development. The ACF's role must evolve to ensure we are actively engaged in supporting state governments and encourage accountability to our people Our challenges require robust regional solutions and state-level accountability, not over-reliance on federal government alone. Now, the persistent food insecurity in northern Nigeria is a profound paradox, given the region's vast arable land. We have been told 70% of the arable land in this country is in the north. Its greatest asset, which is land, it is indefensible to prioritize expenditure on intangible infrastructure over massive agricultural investment. For northern leadership and the nation, revitalizing this sector is an existential imperative. By allocating funds to support modern, large-scale farming and actively engaging the youth in agribusiness and harness the best out of the youth. The next quarter century demands that SYF becomes the primary architect of a new era of northern prosperity. Its mission should be to drive the creation of a long-term development blueprint. This has been championed since yesterday and of course today. Now, a strategic commitment to national integration. The pursuit of a prosperous north, however, cannot be an isolated endeavor. Our region's stability and growth are inextricably linked to the health and unity of the entire Nigerian Federation. Therefore, the SYF must champion a new narrative of mutual prosperity. We must actively assure all Nigerians, particularly our brothers and sisters from the south, that they are welcome. Their legitimate businesses are protected and their security is non-negotiable. All northern state governors must take a special interest in guaranteeing this, fostering environment of trust and shared opportunity. It is both a moral duty and an economic imperative. The northern governors must also expect and seek the same reciprocal commitments from state governments across the south, as this mutual assurance is the bedrock of true national integration. Furthermore, our advocacy must consistently reflect a principled national outlook. The North must champion good governance, equitable representation, and justice at the national level, regardless of which region holds political power. Our ultimate objective must be the progress of a unified Nigeria, as our own prosperity is ultimately guaranteed by the prosperity of the whole nation. Finally, as we honor the vision of Arewa's founding fathers, including Sir Ahmadu Bello of blessed memory, whose legacy continues to inspire northern Nigeria, let this Silver Jubilee inspire a renewed and purposeful collective voice, one that fiercely advocates for northern interests, while consciously building a more just, secure, and united Nigeria. Thank you and God bless. The North must develop a coherent, homegrown agenda, focus on compromise on security, good governance, educational advancement, and economic development. The SYF's role must evolve to ensure we are actively engaged in supporting state governments and encourage accountability to our people. Our challenges require robust regional solutions and state-level accountability, not over-reliance on federal government alone.
Came here to give a trend analysis which is worrisome. And I know that trend analysis could be positive and also could be negative. Several trend analyses have been given over the years. Some have even a kind of predicted, even though it's not prediction, it's something that is put together by the use of data. Some have analyzed that the world would no longer be in existence some years back, but that has been disproved and we are still in existence. Some have also analyzed that Nigeria will cease to exist several years back, but Nigeria is still in existence. So trend analysis could be positive and it could be negative in terms of the mind of whoever is making that analysis. And I believe this analysis that was made is not in tune with our culture of resilience. We know as we speak
that we have numerous problems. Problems that are not confined to our region alone, are not confined to Nigeria alone, but problems that have international dimension. Talk about insecurity. We know that Niger Republic, Burkina Faso, Mali, even Cameroon, even Benin Republic, all are facing this kind of problem we are facing in this country. What do we need to do? Of course, is what we are here for, is what ACF was formed to do. Finding solutions in terms of the problem that we face in the northern Nigeria, indeed the entire country. And this is what we are doing right now, particularly at the federal level. But I had wanted to say right from the beginning that there's a need for us to come together to face the major problem that we are facing in the northern part of this country. This problem started somewhere in the western part, in the northwest, southwest, sorry, where you had kidnappings and so on and so forth. But they came together. The stakeholders came together, formed the Amotekun security agency, and they are able to deal with that problem. Now, as we speak, the southwest is the safest part of this country. And we can do that here. It's doable. So there's a need for all our leaders to come together, the governors, and we are blessed to have the Speaker of the House of Representatives, someone who is from the North. Myself, Deputy Senate President from the North. So we can sit together, try to find solutions to our problems. And we're even lucky. The President of this country is somebody who listens to us. We have never taken anything to do with the North to him in terms of finding solutions to our problem that he has not listened and he has not assisted. He's willing to work with us. Whatever we take to him in terms of our need, definitely he'll do it. So there's a need that we sit together, try to leverage on the increased revenue that our governments, the subnationals are getting, leverage on what we can do in the National Assembly, because whatever we think we can, in terms of finance, we can always contribute our own quota in terms of funding to whatever resolve we've taken to deal with the problem of insecurity we have in the northern part of this country. Where we cannot do, where what we feel we can do is not enough, we can approach the President, and the President will certainly help. He's working so hard. We are working with him through the renewal agenda of his administration to kind of deal with the problems we have in several spheres: agriculture, security, education, and so on and so forth. We need to identify a problem in these directions, in these spheres, and then deal with them. We are ready. I've been talking to the Speaker, we've been talking with the Speaker, that there's a need we quickly, as soon as possible, sit down with our governors, our leaders, ACF leadership. Let's look at these problems again. If the Southwest can do it, if the Southwest could do it, we can do it as well. These problems will become a thing of the past. The prediction or the analysis made by Professor Jibrin, I can assure you it will never materialize. As long as we put ourselves together, we're resilient people, we are tough people, we are hardworking people, as not as we are taught to be so. And I can assure you, by the time we put our heads together, we shall take our region and indeed help the country towards prosperity. This is doable. Like I said, ACF, you have a lot to do. Please facilitate this kind of arrangement. Facilitate this forum. I have heard about several security meetings that were held here in the north, but there was no time we were called. The Speaker has never been invited. I was not invited. Nobody invited us. And we can do a lot. We can influence the funding of such initiatives. So please, we've got the potentials, we have got, means of getting all these things fixed. So let's leverage on the opportunities we have. We have the SGF in government. We have several ministers who are hard working. You can see the Minister of Budget is the former governor of Kebbi State. So we have all it takes
to take ourselves out of the woods. So please, let's leverage on these opportunities we have. Leverage on the fact that we have a president who likes us, who wants to deal with us, who listens to us, who will always do what he wants. I can assure you, whatever you bring, we'll go to Mr. President and he'll do it for us because he has been doing that for us. On this note, congratulate once again the ACF and the entire Northern people and the people of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
He said, every generation is visited by a calling peculiar to it. For some, it was to reclaim this nation from the restraints of colonial domination. For others, it was design, the architecture of a democracy that could hold our diversity together. For yet others, it was to define the moral and social character of the people emerging into modernity. But we arrived at a time when northern Nigeria faces one of the greatest tests of its endurance: the corrosion of security, the erosion of communal values, and the distortion of the moral compass that once held communities as one family. We came at a time of a jarring rupture in the social ethics of a region whose stability is indispensable to our nation's collective peace and prosperity. This is why we are here today, and I'm honored to stand with you for this sacred gathering of conscience and reflection. For 25 years, the Arewa Consultative Forum has stood as an enduring conscience of northern Nigeria. It has assembled patriots, brilliant minds, moral fortresses, and selfless negotiators whose dedication has ensured that the North remains a central pillar in every serious national conversation. The ACF has not only advocated solutions to regional challenges, it has fought for dignity, fairness, and equality for millions who call this vast region home. This Silver Jubilee is therefore a celebration of courage, advocacy, and fruitful service by some of the finest voices the North has produced. The founding fathers and mothers of the ACF foresaw a moment like this. They understood that the region would always depend on its most patriotic sons and daughters to negotiate for its interests and articulate its hopes. This is not a contradiction of the spirit of our federation. It is, instead, an affirmation of the culture of representation that strengthens our national character. We stand here today because those who came before us raised their voices when others could not and defended interests whose implications were yet to be fully understood. Over the years, the ACF has seen powerful individuals come and go, and this proves one eternal lesson, that a strong institution will always triumph over a strong individual. What we require are not supermen or superwomen, but a sincere, collective, driven by shared interests and informed by justice and compassion. This is the philosophy we must nurture. It is the inheritance we must pass from generation to generation. For we will not always be here, and neither will our children. But we can build structures of trust that endure, anchored on the ancient African maxim that we are only because others are. I'm here today, not as a son of the region, but as a son of the Nigerian Federation, bound by duty, conscience, and the weight of responsibility to every part of this country. This ethic of selflessness is what we seek to preserve. There is nothing extraordinary about any of us other than the opportunities negotiated by those who came before us. They sacrificed because they understood that their mission would fail unless they raised generations equipped with the moral and intellectual capacity to protect their community and pursue the well-being of their people. Yet, let us not congratulate ourselves to the point of forgetting the burden upon every privileged shoulder in this room. There has never been a time when the North more urgently needed honest, courageous voices. Yes, there have been mistakes, there have been moments of drift, but we cannot say the North has failed unless we abandon our responsibility to be our brothers and sisters keepers. We fail the day we sleep comfortably while millions sleep with empty bellies. The day fear becomes a permanent companion for travelers moving from one village to another. But let no one believe that hope is lost. The function inherited over decades, fractured bonds, and strained unity. Yet the ethnic and religious diversity gathered here today is a declaration of the collective resolve to overcome polarization and resist any agenda designed to divide. Unless trust is rebuilt, security challenges will persist, economic stagnation will deepen, and educational deficits will widen. This is the reality we must confront with courage and realism. Nothing troubles me more gravely than the security crisis bedeviling Nigeria, especially northern Nigeria. Affliction in any part of the country is a setback for every part. We cannot prosper when one limb of the national body is paralyzed. The layers and sophistication of the security challenges we inherited are daunting, but one should inspire confidence in this urgency with which my administration is pursuing solutions. We are not only determined to ensure that terrorists and bandits groups tormenting the North are eliminated, we are equally committed to reversing the region's economic decline. I have unwavering optimism in the North Promise, and I eagerly anticipate the day when the first tankers of crude oil from Kolmani and other northern oil fields roll out. This is why we are accelerating critical roads, rail and river transport projects across the region. Most notably, the transformative Abuja-Kaduna-Kano superhighway, which we intend to commission in Kano in the coming months. The wisdom of today's anniversary is crowned by your resolve to launch the ACF Endowment Fund. I must express my pride in this purposeful step. This fund is an investment in our shared future, supporting girl-child education, youth skills acquisition, peace building, and conflict resolution efforts across the region. It establishes a practical foundation upon which a more stable and prosperous Arewa can be built. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, while I have no doubt in your generosity towards this endowment, I appeal to each of us to live here as champions of a new cause. Let us recommit ourselves to the ideals that produced the ACF 25 years ago. Let us work together across government, traditional institutions, and civil societies to build a North worthy of its history and deserving of its future. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin Ian Zazo. Your Excellencies, governors here present, I would like to stand on the existing protocol established by the chairman for want and time. Your Excellencies, I stand here to represent our leader, former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, who is unavoidably absent, and have requested that I extend his felicitations and best wishes for this occasion and for Nigeria. I feel a profound sense of history and nostalgia standing here today on this auspicious occasion of the 25th anniversary of the Arewa Consultative Forum. 25 years ago, a cross-section of visionary and deeply concerned leaders of the northern Nigeria looked upon the state of our nation and saw a number of dangerous challenges that were getting worse with every passing day. They knew that certain things needed to be done, among them a platform built not on parochial interest, but on that provided the leadership a chance to discuss and deliberate among themselves all issues of peace, unity, and on strategies of preventing conflicts and misunderstanding among the people of northern Nigeria and indeed all Nigeria. They were motivated by the highest standard of patriotism and sacrifice. They were driven by the memory of a united Nigeria and the fervent hope for its peaceful, prosperous future. Their mission was clear: to champion the cause of national unity, to foster understanding, and to be a voice of reason and moderation. Today we gather not just to commemorate their foresight, but to bear witness. This ceremony is a clear evidence yet that the ACF has not deviated from those lofty principles. Through shifting political landscapes and evolving national challenges, the Forum has remained a steadfast beacon, advocating for the unity of the northern Nigeria and through dialogue, equity, and understanding, the indivisibility of our great nation, Nigeria. This is as it should be. In a nation as diverse and dynamic complex as ours, we cannot and we must not ever stress the imperatives of unity, peace, harmony, and enough. They are not mere political slogans. They are the very bedrock upon which our country stands. They are the oxygen for our development and the foundation for our collective dignity. Let me be unequivocal. Without any of this, we can have no country. Without unity, we fracture. Without peace, we stagnate. And without harmony, we fail to realize our immense God-given potentials. Therefore, on this significant anniversary, let us use this moment not only for celebration, but also as a clarion call
I call on all Nigerians from the creeks of the Naija Delta to the beaches of Lagos, from the mountains of the east to the plains of the north, to emulate and match the values of unity and peace constantly promoted by the Arewa Consultative Forum. Let us see in this forum not a regional champion, but a national exemplar whose core values are essential for every part of Nigeria. To the ACF, I say, your work is as crucial today as it was at your founding. Continue to be a bridge, continue to be conscious, continue to preach and practice the politics of inclusiveness and national solidarity. Our future is bright, but it is a future we must build together with unwavering faith, deliberate effort, and a shared commitment to the ideals that truly make a nation great. With this short remark, I would like to declare the event open. I thank you all for your attention. God bless the Arewa Consultative Forum, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you and God bless you.
I bring warm and fraternal greetings to the leadership and entire membership of the Arewa Consultative Forum. As you commemorate your silver jubilee, 25 years of service, advocacy, and commitment to the ideas of nation building in our beloved country, Nigeria. Although advanced in age prevents my physical presence at this historical gathering, I am most pleased to convey Afenifere goodwill and solidarity to you on this momentous occasion. 25 years in the life of any organization is an important milestone. It indicates vision, endurance, institutional maturity, and above all, an unwavering dedication to the collective good. For this, the Arewa Consultative Forum deserves commendation. The founder of ACF set out to create a platform through which the voice of Northern Nigeria could be articulated with clarity, responsibility, and dignity. Over the years, you have upheld these values, championing peaceful coexistence, national cohesion, and a broad interest of your people within the larger Nigeria Federation. In doing so, you have contributed to the deepening of dialogue, the strengthening of democratic processes, and the advancement of a national understanding. Afenifere, founded in 1951 as the foremost socio-political organization of the Yoruba people, share many of your aspirations. We both believe in justice, fairness, equity, tolerance, and protection of the rights and welfare of all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe, creed, or political persuasion. Our two organizations, though rooted in different cultural identities, remain bound by a shared conviction that Nigeria can only progress when its constituency parts work in harmony, honor their diversity, and uphold the basic principle of federalism. This anniversary is coming at a time our country is facing the worst security threats to its well-being and existence. Despite all the problems Nigeria have gone through in 65 years of independence, we have never had to deal with this level of insecurity and threat of invasion by a foreign power on account of it. This is a sad moment for our country. It calls for sober reflection on where we are, how we got to this sorry state, and how we can get out of it by eliminating terrorism and rampant violence and kidnapping. It is time to reflect on what our fathers and leaders proposed and discuss about the creation of Nigeria from 1953 up to independence in 1965, when the military took over power in our country for the first time. This has become an urgent and imperative for the security of our people and the future of this country. The Silver Jubilee provides us with an opportunity to reflect deeply on the future of our nation, Nigeria. Nigeria stands today at a crossroads. We are confronted by the evil of unimaginable violence, declining public trust, and the fraying of social bonds. Yet, I remain convinced that Nigeria is not without hope.